Hi, it's Brian Decker with your Market Minute. I want to talk to you about something that's been kind of thinking about forever, and that is, why has it taken so long for China to invade Taiwan? And I just read something that was brilliant that I wanted to share with all of you. So the most important thing is that China saw what happened to Russia with sanctions, and that's why we don't believe that they'll invade Taiwan militarily. China's economy is very much geared to the West, and they're very dependent on export-driven manufacturing. So Russia had nothing to lose because it was not integrated in the global economy. Yes, they got oil, they've got metals, but China cannot afford to export to Europe, to the United States, and have those economies start any sanctions. Their economy would just collapse. The other reason that they've been skeptical is the U.S. Navy. The United States spends more on defense than the next 9 countries, including China. We have 16 aircraft carriers. They have 2, one of which is a rust bucket. If you parked one of the 16 aircraft carriers in the Strait of Malacca outside of Singapore, China would starve without Middle East oil. The economy would collapse. The U.S. government is very clearly going to support Taiwan, and I think that's a huge deterrent. I don't know why there's such skepticism about the United States. Our great military is a great deterrent for China doing something militarily. In the long run, it's a patriotic issue for China. Taiwan was part of China. They want it back in the long run. But if you do the mental math, it doesn't make any sense to do it militarily. It's a complicated issue. It goes back to the Opium War of 1860, the British, the French, the Russians, the Americans. U.S. Marines were based in Shanghai less than 100 years ago. We owned a piece of Shanghai because after the Opium War, the emperor was dethroned and we got a piece of it. But no one in Taiwan has lived under Chinese rule since 1901. When the Japanese invaded, which was part of the events that led to World War II. It's a really complicated issue. Taiwan is an issue of patriotism in China and for the Chinese government. They have a constituency that says this should be ours, quote unquote, and they have to speak to that domestic constituency. At the same time, there's a recognition that Taiwan has been off its own for a while. The experience of China, the British giving Hong Kong back, and the problems that have come back to China. Ultimately, China needs stability. So just wanted to pass those thoughts along. I thought that was interesting on why China has not invaded Taiwan yet. Hope you have a great week.